Hi and welcome to Crypto Charts. Good morning everyone. So October 17, as you can see, 8:23 a.m. This is the price action in Bitcoin over the last basically since we broke the 110 support level. Now again, for those who missed it, let me draw the reverse cup and handle formation that basically broke the bone of Bitcoin. Very technical price action. So again, we managed to hold the fort for almost 4 days. Keep in mind, guys, that we are along the way we traded this lower highs pattern. So from 116 through 114 through 112 through 110, and then now taking a dive to as low as 103,500. And why is it important? Because this is our reference, or our new reference low, 102,180, which is the lows following the crash that happened last Friday. So why is it important to show the whole picture? Because basically this is the reference. What happened Friday, exactly a week ago, give or take 10 hours. So a week minus 10 hours. Okay, now that we know the support and resistance levels, we have the picture of the price action in front of us. And again, this cup and handle was, I guess, too strong for crypto buyers to hold. Again, you can clearly see that by drawing this higher lows pattern, that the momentum to the upside is vanishing. So we had some momentum at the beginning of the week. The momentum faded. As you can see, the volumes were marginally lower almost on a daily basis, and the only place where we had some volume was here on the breakdown. Why is the volume on the breakdown? Because it was a clear support level. There were plenty of buyers here, okay, buyers at support and sellers. Obviously, as you can see, the sellers won. We had a clear, again, very technical retest of the breakdown level, and then we, let's say, flew off the wagon overnight from 110 to 103.50. That's a 6.5% move, roughly. Let's call it 6%. And now we recovered. So why are those support levels important? Because again, if you are already short and you bet on the reversal here, you had a stop loss at 102. So that was a 2% risk on the short play, which delivered already a 6% move. So again, if you are short, you can clearly move the stop loss to the entry and wait. And if we break, I hope we won't, but if we break that 102 level, we may trigger a move under 100, and in that case, this 2% risk rate can become maybe a 10% winner, which is 5 to 1. And any trade that's 5 to 1 in terms of risk reward, and of course I'm not counting any leverage. Any leverage on this play is a great trade. So whatever you have a $10,000 position or a $100,000 position here, 5 to 1 is a very big winner. Okay. Now let's discuss the other side of the market, which is most of us. What happens now in terms of entering? Now, if you were long, you should have been out, obviously, under this level, under the 110 level. I said 109, but really the excess liquidity was 110. Okay, so now sorry. So now if you're looking for a long play, again, this is the reference 102. Let's use the 100K as the real support. Okay, assuming that this 102 is one-time event which happened for maybe a split second on that crash Friday a week ago. And again, on some platforms it's 102, on other platforms it's 103. I'm going to use whatever is in front of me. On the Mumu platform it is 102, 180. And I think this is the same on the Binance and most of the platforms. Okay, so now if you're looking for a long play, two options: wait and see if Bitcoin can settle around this level, anywhere between 103 and 104, and then you can enter the trade, use either 102 or the 100 as a stop loss. So basically taking anywhere between 2 and 4% of risk on the trade, which is reasonable for a reversal higher. Right now we had a reversal. You can clearly see this is a 1 hour chart, obviously. So on the 1 hour chart you can see the hammer reversal. So the buyers clearly came in at 103,500. The buyers came in at 103,500. We're gonna survey some other charts in a bit to see if all of them are looking the same, but that's fine. Now, can you buy at 103,500 if it retests the level? I don't know. We have to see. I mean, I don't want to trust a one point level. We want to trust a pattern. What is a pattern? At least 5, 6, 10 hours, maybe 12 hours, where the crypto in this case Bitcoin, creates a base. Now, the bigger the base, the more we trust it. Right now we don't have a base; we have a level. So that's the level that we need to work with, 103,500, and of course the reference is here, 102, round number. I'm not going to count the 180, and worst case scenario, and this is definitely the crucial number, 100K. Okay, so again, for those who are short, the scenario is simple. If you are short, move the stop loss to the entry. It was a retested level, and wait for the break of 102 and maybe of the 100K. If you're looking for a long play, you have to wait, analyze what's going on here, see if we can deliver, or if Bitcoin can deliver a reversal pattern with very little risk. Well, what do I mean by very little risk? Anywhere between 2 and 4%, preferably 2. Worst case scenario, 3 or 4. Again, I'm not talking about leverage positions. If you are leveraged 10 times, 2 is 20, 4 is 40. So the numbers are exploding if you are leveraged. So be careful, those who are leveraged and survived whatever happened last week, and we discussed it plenty of times. You cannot blame anybody but yourself if you are over leveraged for whatever happened. So again, over leverage is risky, and the liquidity in Bitcoin, and some people ask me, sorry for diverting, is not as great as we think. Okay, just to make a point, over the last 24 hours, the turnover in Bitcoin is 24-hour turnover, $2.85 billion in 24 hours. Just to make a point, the turnover in the S&P 500 in 6 hours, 6.5 hours of trading, is 72 billion. So the turnover in the S&P is 72 billion, and the turnover in Nvidia is 32 billion. And those stocks are trading 6.5 hours. I don't know if they include pre or aftermarket in this turnover. I think maybe they do. So maybe they're not trading 6.5 hours. Let's add 4 hours, 10 hours. So they're not trading 24 hours. And the turnover is way higher. And again, I'm mentioning obviously the benchmark S&P versus the benchmark in crypto, which is Bitcoin. And for other cryptos, the numbers are, I don't know, really low. Okay, So let's move on. Let's move to our second crypto that we are discussing on a daily basis, Ethereum. Now we can do it together. So first of all, we want to see the benchmark of the move last week, which is 33,700. Sorry, 33.70. That was the move lower from last week, 33.70. Now, now another level that is important to watch is this level. Let me draw it for you guys. That's 36.40. Let me point it out on the chart. 36.40, and you can see that we dipped to 36.70. So again, if you're looking now for trade long in Ethereum, what are the options? Assuming, of course, that you don't have a position right now. If you have a position, you can use either of two stop losses, 36.40, or the best. I mean, the real scenario right now should be this 33.50. However, this is a 8 to 9% risk now if you're in a long position. So this number is not a tight stop loss. It's anywhere between 8 and 9%. I don't want to, 8 to 9%, which is not a normal stop loss to me. Okay, that's my opinion. So I know that Ethereum is way more volatile than Bitcoin, so maybe you can't trade it with a 2% risk. Maybe you need more, 3, 4, or 5, but 9 is when you trade with a 9% or 10% risk per trade, you're increasing your risk where you need 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. So you need a 20% move to really have a cushion versus a 10% loser. So again, we see the dip. This is the reference point. Where is the entry point? Anywhere above it right now. So if anybody is aggressive and looking for a trade, the short-term stop loss, it's not like I see another stop loss, is 36.75. Let's round things up to 3,500. Round things up to 3,500. So now if you're entering at 3,800, that's $300, nearly 8% of risk right now if you enter, which is not a great setup. And again, the technical setup is not that great anyway. Okay, hope it was clear. Let's move on to some other charts. Number 3, Binance, which took a dive this morning. Really took a dive. I don't know if this had to do with the crash of last week, with the lost momentum in Binance, with so many people bashing Binance and blaming Binance overall as an organization for whatever happened last week. Maybe they are to blame. Maybe they're not to blame. Obviously, from my perspective, they are not responsible for liquidity. Okay, they are the broker, the biggest broker, but they're not responsible for the market liquidity. Okay, for the whole market liquidity. And keep in mind that they cannot be responsible for whatever happens with other brokers, although to the degree that they are providing liquidity. Anyway, whether it is their fault or it's not their fault, the result is the same. Whatever happened. Some cryptos or altcoins fell off the cliff and nearly tested zero, some of them. Okay, so this is clearly a great move down, and it's still down at this point, although it recovered from the lows of the day, down 7% on the day. Okay, now if you are short, and again, what was the short entry? Either 1140 or 1120. Again, one of these levels was the short entry, and the risk was, as you can clearly see, very much for those who are watching the charts and looking at trading opportunities. This was the stop loss over 1160, maybe 1170. Let me actually test see the number accurately. 1165. 1165 should have been the stop loss on the move lower. Okay, so again, let's repeat. You're looking for a long play. Either the stop loss should be at the round number. I'm not going to play with the 1020. Let's use the round number 1000 here as the stop loss. So you're looking for a short play. This is $60. That's 6% right now, using the 1000 stop loss. If you want to use the real stop loss, it goes way lower to Friday's loss, which is 865, or sorry, actually it's posted here on the chart, 866, which is not reasonable. You're not going to take a 20% risk now on the trade, just in hope that it will reverse and maybe deliver a move. So again, best idea right now, do nothing. If you are short, cover your risk, move the stop loss to the entry and wait. If you are looking for a long play, wait. Simple as that. Okay, moving on. Let's take a look now at XRP. Obviously, the trade posted last week in XRP failed, but let me actually delete it. It's an embarrassment to still see it on the chart. Okay, so what can we do with XRP? The same scenario with all the cryptos. Support. I mean, here we can clearly see why the liquidity counts. The turnover in XRP over the last 24 hours, $400 million. That's nothing. Okay, compared of course to the leading stock. So what can you do right now? You cannot use, I think, I won't use this number. It's right now it's a random number. Let's ignore this random number and try to figure out either round numbers or tested levels. I would use as a worst case scenario, if I am long, and again there is no reason to be long right now after the move lower under 2.4. If I am long, I would say I would use, let me draw it on the chart, this support level, 2.1 as the stop loss. This level. Sorry. Let me draw it again so it will stay with us on the chart. 2.1. Okay. Now again, this is the worst case scenario if you are in a long position. If you are in a short position, you know where the stop loss should be at the test level over 2.4, maybe 2.41. Now, if you wanna fish it up, like try to buy it with a limit order, you can buy it here at 2.2 at this pullback and use the 2.1 as the stop loss. That's a 5% risk on the trade. However, and I'm still, trying to figure out long plays while the trend is clearly down, and you can clearly see the lower highs in XRP as well. So you can clearly see a lower high here, and a lower high here, and the lower high here, and the lower high here, and the lower high right now. That's the latest high. Okay, so again, if we turn around and you are short, you can lower the stop loss to this level. Now the stop loss is at those who bet on the break, and again you can clearly see even here the same phenomenon as in Bitcoin. the perfect cup and handle formation with the lower highs. Very, very technical. It was actually impossible if you're watching the charts not to see it. Okay, so moving on, I'm not going to bet on a long play, and I explained what is the routine that can be done. Best wait. Is there a possibility that once volume will pick up in about an hour, we'll see a move higher? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. In that case, this is the support level, 2.2 right now. Okay, and moving on to the last crypto that we're gonna discuss this morning. Now again, here on Solana, actually we may be able to use the support level, which is the number following the crash last Friday. I'm rounding things up, 169 instead of 169.27. Lows of the move were here under 173, I think. Let me see the exact number. Okay, it was 174, so let's call it 173 or 172. Okay, the support level, and it's now at 181, 4% above, 4.5% above. And again, what's wrong about this chart and why it's not a viable chart? Again, we can clearly see the lower highs pattern. Okay, anywhere you look, you can clearly see the lower highs. In this case, actually, the breakdown wasn't as predictable, because we saw a cup, and then the handle came way bigger than the cup, and then it didn't trade them. The technicality wasn't that great. So on the breakdown, this was the stop loss over nearly 200 on the move under 190. So that's a 5% risk on the move down. And again, I don't think Solana is the first choice of traders for a short play. You had XRP, you had a Bitcoin with better setups. If you're looking for a long play, the same scenario applies. Meaning, rather wait. I myself would rather wait right now and try to observe a better entry with very little risk. If you are short, obviously you can lower your stop loss. Can you lower stop loss? I don't know. I mean, the pattern is not built that nicely, but again, depends on your entry. I would say maybe move your stop loss to the entry, whatever it was, 190 or 192. That's also an option, or stay with this stop loss over 196. Okay, guys, what we saw this morning is pretty much representative to all cryptos. We broke down under the support level. We didn't break on any of the cryptos the levels of last Friday's lows, which is a very important support level. And then obviously in crypto, in Bitcoin, the 100K level, which is obviously still intact. We are now at 105,600. Now let's see the map, the heat map. Okay, so the picture of the heat map is really ugly. We have Bitcoin Cash crashing on the lack of liquidity. We have let me see who else is hurting this morning. Binance Coin is hurting, but I think the issue with Binance Coin is also anger management from some traders on others, pointing to the responsibility of Binance for the crash and their lack of adequate response, as they call it. I'm not going to get into that. The rest of the market actually kind of recovered over the last a couple of hours or 3 or 4 hours, the numbers were way deeper in the red 3 to 4 hours ago. Bitcoin down 2%, Ethereum down 2%, 2.11 for both. You don't see them here on the heat map. That's pretty much it. So a sea of red, but not as red as we were 4 hours ago. Okay guys, so just to round things up, as you can see, we are 10 minutes before 9 a.m. The volumes are gonna pick up in the US with the US traders coming in, and for some traders, although Bitcoin will trade obviously around the clock Friday, today, tomorrow, and of course Sunday, but some traders will disappear for the weekend. And I think today, late in the day, we'll see. I hope we'll see some movement, some clarity, especially for long entries. And if I'm talking about long entries, obviously my first option is to find an entry point in Bitcoin. And if you can find an entry point in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is gonna lead the markets higher, maybe it will open up some potential trades for the rest of the market. Okay guys, those who are short, good for you. Those who are looking for a trade, wait. That's my summary. Thanks for watching. Do like and subscribe, and we'll see you obviously in our next video in about 10 to 12 hours. Maybe actually earlier if we're gonna see some setups forming.